Back in the Good Living kitchen now with Tex from the Lonestar, and he's making a dish with fish that he caught himself.
Exactly.
Still very impressed about
Man
that,
the
Tex.
hunter, eh? Exactly. Al Brown, eat your heart out.
Yeah, too right. So let's go over, Tex. What's the name of the dish again?
It's just a simple pan-fried blue cod with the Mediterranean prawn and avocado salsa.
Beautiful. So nice and fresh and good flavours coming through.
Exactly. Really, really healthy and good for you. So yeah, all I'm doing is just I'm going to seal these prawns off while they're cooking. We'll start on the salsa. This is just it's almost embarrassingly easy. It's just basically cutting up stuff that I like to eat and then chucking it together. It's that simple. So
it all goes so well together, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's so healthy and fresh, you know. I just love it. So they're not going to take too long to cook anyway.
And you've got that onion cutting thing down pat, haven't you?
Yeah, I've done a few of them in my time. So if I haven't by now, then I'd have to kick my own butt, you know. I
always try and watch them practice as well, but I just can't quite get there yet, Tex. Chopping more onions.
Exactly. So they don't have to be too sort of perfect shape. It's a rusticy salsa. So you don't want to really overcook these too much either. The heat of the pan will finish them off. They've just been seasoned with a little bit of flaky salt and some pepper. So I'm going to get that pan nice and hot for the fish. While that's heating up, I'll just keep going on the salsa.
So the prawns, literally, they're only a couple of minutes, aren't they?
Yeah. You know, they don't take long at all.
So fish is a really good, quick option for people when they're busy during the week.
I think so too. You can come home and have dinner on the table within 10 minutes. You know, it's that easy. Well, we're going to have it done in 7, so that's going to be.
Yeah, exactly.
That's our plan.
You can tell. That's the plan. It's going pretty well so far.
So what we do is we'll season the fish a wee bit. Just a wee bit of olive oil, bit of pepper, and of course a bit of flaky sea salt. Now, you've got to have butter when you're cooking fish, but I normally put it in the pan and do the butter at the end. That way it doesn't burn. And you sort of get a nut brown butter, which is a French called beurre noisette, which translates to hazelnut butter, but it sort of means brown butter, sort of a nutty flavour, and that's just by taking the butter, not burnt, but just that one step above it.
It's a fine line too,
below it,
isn't
sorry,
it?
no, below it. Yeah, it is a fine line, yeah. Nothing's worse than burnt butter.
Oh, no, there's no going back from it. You've got to start again, don't you?
Exactly. So the pan's hot, so all we want to do now is get it in there and then sort of resist the urge to play around with it too much.
Okay, so leave it.
Leave it, yeah. Wait, it'll get white around the edges, and then you know it's starting to get there. I'll put a wee bit on top.
What other types of fish could we use for this, Tex?
Terraki, gurnard, monkfish, blue nose.
All of those would work well?
Yeah. I must admit I love all fish, except for I'm not terribly fond of red cod. I've seen quite a few of them get caught and they're always full of worms and stuff like that, so yeah, I stick away from red cod, yeah.
And don't care so much about red cod though, do you? Like blue cod, yeah, but
what a lot of fishermen do, and supermarkets and fishmongers will do, we'll call it Akaroa cod or deep sea cod or something. And
that's why we don't
all it is
red
just
cod. Gotcha.
If you know what it is, you sort of probably stay a wee bit away.
Yeah.
Just some cherry tomatoes, we're going to whack those in half. These are nice and sweet. Sarah, it's just starting to sort of get a wee bit white around the outside there. We'll let that go just for probably about another minute. Flip it over in the oven for a minute and then rest it. And that's us.
Fantastic.
That's us. So the cherry tomatoes are in there. I've got some pistachio nuts, which I love these. These are...
So do I. A lot of them don't actually go into the cooking. They tend to just get popped.
The only thing that's lucky is they're quite hard to peel, so that would stop me from eating too many of them. So
it does slow you down a little bit, doesn't it?
It's got that nice sort of
peel them.
brown caramelisation on the outside.
Beautiful.
That's what we're after. Now I'm just going to put my best friend butter in there. A little bit on the fish and a little bit in the pan, and that will be 30 seconds to a minute in the oven, and then we'll pop it out, and that'll be ready. We'll rest it just like meat. Anything is better if you rest it for a little bit, you know. So
that applies to fish as well? Yeah,
it does, because you get all the moisture inside sort of buzzing around really, really fast by resting it too. It's probably not as much as important as for meat, but I still think it's a lot nicer if you do.
Yeah.
A little bit of Kalamata olive. Now, these are sort of the things that divide a few people. In the office, when I was telling everyone, it's like, oh, I'm not keen on olives, and some people love them, some people sort of aren't that keen, so...
It is an acquired taste, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
If you force yourself, I think you do become more...
Yeah, you get a bit okay with it, don't you?
Mm.
So, you see here, it's just really rustic. It doesn't really matter how it's cut, because it's a bit of coriander in there.
Beautiful.
Get rid of that so you can see a little bit. Now, a little bit of lemon zest. A wee squeeze of the lemon itself. And we'll put a wee bit of oil in there just to dress it a wee bit. And again, pour a bit of flavour in there.
Beautiful.
It's basically our...
That's the salsa. That was easy.
Let's not forget the fish. So we'll just rest that for a second. See how the butter's just gone that sort of brown
so
without...
that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, it hasn't burnt, but it's got that lovely sort of nutty aroma.
Here we go, Tex.
The last thing for the salsa now is the prawn. Probably the most important thing. Best way with these is just to get your fingers and squeeze the bottom, and they'll pop out like a... You can cut them off, but it just takes forever.
So as long as you're squeezing the towel and pulling at the same time.
That's dead right. I might turn that element off so I don't singe all my arm hairs off. There's got to be one of the worst smells in the kitchen is burning arm hair. You get used to it.
Fantastic.
So
that sounds good. All right, Tex, what we'll do is we'll let you just finish up here. I'm going to go and have a chat with Diane from a desk, and then we'll be back to see how it all looks. So stay with us.
No problem.